Hey guys, welcome to the Provokers Podcast, where we talk about things that you probably should too. Today I'm joined by...
I'm John, also known as Jeebins.
And I am your host, technically the last time of me hosting from Season 2, because we're not counting the season finale, because both me and John are hosting. It is officially my last episode for Season 2, which is crazy to say, because this is episode number 98, in case you weren't counting, meaning John's doing 99, and then the season finale is right after that. So we are steadily approaching. Right after this Sunday for me and John, 2 more Sundays, and then boom, we're there. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your eyes, ears, and mouth prepared for the season 2 finale, because it's gonna be a banger.
What do you mean by that?
Don't worry about it. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled, because it's going to be an amazing episode. I can already foresee it. I can foresee the prophecy. It's gonna be great.
What is this awful? What if they hate it?
Then we should just quit right then and there. That's it for the podcast. We're ending season 2, guys. See you later. But yeah, one of the small downsides is if you wanted to enter in your picks for the season 2 finale, like a voting thing that we did, that is closed now, so you're unable to do so. So unfortunately, time has run out. But the votes are in, and I've been slowly counting the points totals for all the different entries. I know what's not winning, but I still need to figure out like what's kind of winning for the 3 sections we're going to be doing in the finale. But yeah, just based off of, I know one of the things. I think I already told John what number 1 was. Of course, we're not going to spoil that for you guys, but I know what number 1 is. It's number 2 and 3. I still have to figure out, and then I kind of know what's already lost, because there's a lot of topics that like 1 or 2 people voted for, and that's it. And so obviously they're not going to win. Yeah. So, but with that being said, let's get into some small talk. So, John, what's been going on with you? You've been like hiding away from the universe like a vampire, or you've been going out and blowing up orphanages left, right, and center?
Well, there's a bit of blowing up orphanages here and there. I've been going to school. I have my midterms. I have one of my midterms tomorrow. So like the semester has been like flying by, which in some ways is good, in some ways is bad. Like, I have decent grades for some of my classes. So it's not like I'm like struggling a whole lot, but I'm like, something's wrong here. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna wake up in like a week or 2, and like a bunch of things from the beginning of the semester will be graded down, like 0 to class. I'm like, how did this happen? So that's how my life has been for the past few weeks.
That is fair. Yeah, as for me, my Stardew Valley addiction has continued. It still is continuing, really. I'm on year 2 now, I think, in my off-camera playthrough. Nice. I now have a wife and children, so really, it's just life's moving by quickly. We'll just say that. I've also found out that the kids basically don't do anything. There's no use to them outside of turning them. Yeah, other than you can turn them into birds, I guess, which that seems weird and cultist.
Yeah.
But what I did here is, because now, of course, now that I've had the Stardew Valley edition, I'm of course following like certain creators that play Stardew Valley, and one of the major creators that I guess is like one of the biggest in the Stardew Valley community is she mentioned that she keeps up to tabs with the update and stuff, and there is actually going to be another update for the game. And in this update, the dev said that he's going to make it so that the babies actually have some sort of use, so other than just turning them into birds.
Yeah, because I've seen that he had an update that was coming out. I didn't hear that part of it, but
yeah, he's been. I guess there's like a Discord server where there must be a Stardew Valley Discord server, because it was a snippet that the creator showed on the screen. It looked like it was from Discord. So, but yeah, he said he's gonna be adding a lot of like quality of life stuff. It's not gonna be like a lot of new content necessarily, but just a lot of quality of life stuff. And there's a couple things that he said in quotes, people didn't ask for, but they will really appreciate it. So I'm curious to see what those are.
There's one thing that he's announced that nobody was asking for. You're going to be able to marry Clint. Like, nobody wanted to marry Clint. Well, everyone hates him.
He's apparently this was more of a widespread thing than I thought it was. Because when John said he hated Clint with a fiery passion, I'm like, okay, that's just John's opinion. And then I realized, no, that's everyone's opinion. Because even in the announcements, because he made unofficial announcements on Discord, obviously, but the official announcement on Steam itself, he said, you can now date Clint. Everyone wants to date Clint, right? So it's kind of like he knows that no one wanted that.
Yeah.
I guess you can date Sandy. I don't really know. I don't really interact with her too much, but she's cool, I guess. Yeah, so you can now marry those two, I guess. Still can't marry Granny. Damn it. Where's the marry the Granny update? Come on, Dev. Whatever. I'll just have to patiently wait for the marry the Granny one. But yeah, still obviously, like, it's one of those things that I know, a game is good when I can stay hooked on it this long. Like, sometimes you'll get in that, like, it's like, I call it the 2-week Minecraft phase, right? It doesn't have to just be Minecraft. It could be a 2-week phase where you're really into this game. You're like, oh yeah, this game's great. I'm gonna play this game forever. And then you get to the end of the 2-week phase. You're like, man, all right, I beat the game. I'm never gonna touch this game again. And that's happened to me before with various games. But yeah, with this one, it's been, I think we started like early February. It's now March. So here I am, still playing the game. Still very much enjoying it. Obviously, me and John and Axel have been very much enjoying it in our series, which you can catch live at Jeebins Feebins. And you can also catch if you want to see the video versions of it, those are also on, you can Jeebins Feebins VODs, or if you want to see them as individual segments, you can find them over on my channel. But, yeah, so just been doing that a lot. Haven't had much time to read. I was on like a reading streak. I guess because of that, I'm kind of ahead. So I have 5 books down, I think. Which is already into May, right? If I'm doing the 12. And that's assuming I do one a month, which obviously I did not because I was going ahead. So now that I guess I was mentally preparing myself for the Stardew Valley addiction. I didn't even know the Stardew Valley addiction was going to happen, but I still like mentally prepared for it. So,
But yeah, you gotta be a little bit prepared for these sorts of things.
Right, yeah, that's not a euphemism.
Yeah, but for me, I'm at 4 books read. One of them was a comic book that was like really short, but I'm like, you know what? It's a book. I'm adding it. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, you also read books that are like 700 pages long, so I feel like it kind of outweighs it a little bit.
Yeah, because the book I'm reading now, I'm about halfway through it. It's almost 500 pages, so it's not a small book for sure. But
I try to stay in the realm
of like
smaller. 200 to like 350 is like usually the highest I go. I mean, I can go lower than 250. I don't know why I said 250 was the minimum. Yeah, I'll go anywhere from like I think 50 pages or anything less than 50 pages. So like, are you really reading a book?
Right.
But like 50 pages to like 350. So sometimes I'll go a little high. Like I think one book I read that had like 412. But it was a slog, and I didn't really like the ending of it. So maybe that's just how I am. Maybe my attention span is like, nope, this isn't good enough. This book's too long.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the book I'm on, there's definitely times when I'm like, this wasn't all needed, but it was like the author's second book or something, so, there's a bit of that. But like, there's whole paragraphs, so I read through them, like, you could have like shortened that to like a sentence. There's basically like a whole page that's basically says, it got cold, and then it got warm, and then it got cold again. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, you really could have just condensed that into a single sentence. But yeah, so I'm still doing decent on my books. Still have I have the book subscription thing. I still haven't read any of those yet. I mean, I read the one, but that's it. Because I was mainly reading books I got for Christmas. And I still have a couple, and then I got those. So I'm just kind of behind, but it's fine. Stardew Valley takes priority right now, even though it's probably shouldn't. But it does.
Yeah, for me, I've just been so busy with school, so I've been doing school stuff, and then I do a little bit of Stardew Valley. I've been playing Marvel Rivals a lot too. And then, like, on Friday, Resident Evil 9 came out, so I've been streaming that.
Right. Are they just pumping those out, too, or are they actually good games?
I think it's really good. Like, I've played it for 9 hours so far, and I'm like, am I, like, even close to finishing this game? And, like, that's just on one playthrough, and they love to make, like, incentives for replaying it and playing it with, like, challenge modes. So I'm sure I'm going to get a lot out of it. But, yeah, I mean, the last game came out, like, 2-3 years ago, so I feel like it makes sense.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. When I look at like the Resident Evil catalog, I'm like, there's so many of these games. Like, they can't all be that good.
You're right. They're not all of it. There's a couple that I'm like, this game sucks. There's one of them I played. I played through it once, and there's technically 4 playthroughs as like different characters. I played through one of them, and I was like, that's enough for me. I don't really like this one.
Everyone else. Was it like a Until Dawn type game where you play, there's all the same time frame, but you just swap between characters?
Yes and no. Like, you have like 4 playthroughs where you like, one is like you play as this character for this playthrough, and then you play as this character for that playthrough, and they all have like different stories, but they're all like happening at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And it's meant to be multiplayer. Like, you're meant to play it with a friend, but you can play it single player. And I think that's why I didn't enjoy it, because I was playing it alone. And I was like, man, this NPC that's helping me out sucks. I hate them. They keep dying. So, like, maybe that's why I didn't like the game very much.
Did their machine suck ass, John?
That machine did suck ass, yeah.
Okay, well, that does explain a lot of things, Whenever your machine sucks ass, it's like, well, I guess we're not beating this game today. So, you know how it is. But yeah, with the small talk out of the way, we can get into the headline I got for today, which is actually a good one. I know the world's kind of in shambles right now, but I found a good one. And that's that in the Netherlands, which is just, they're just flexing on all of us here, has built hundreds of like what they're calling wildlife bridges. I mean, the technical term is called eco-ducts, to help animals like safely cross like busy roads and like railways, so, like highways and stuff like that. So literally, I'm being shown a picture of right now. They literally made like so instead of like the bridges that we have in like everywhere else, they're like underground tunnels, and so we would go into the tunnels on the ground level, and then they have like a little pathway that goes up over the tunnels, so that way the wildlife can safely travel from one side of the road to the other without having to play Frogger and potentially getting hit by a car. Which not only is safer for them, it's also safer for us, because if we don't have to try and swerve to not hit a deer, then we don't have to swerve to hit a deer. You know what I mean? So, Netherlands is doing a great thing, and I think everyone else hopefully will take notice of this and be like, oh, that's a good idea. We should do that too. We're gonna steal your idea. So yeah, that's I think it's a really cool idea, and from what I can tell and from what I've read, it looks like it's working really well. Like fewer animals are trying to cross the actual road. So, genius idea, and I don't know why we didn't think of this earlier. But it's here now. So definitely everyone, all the other countries that this would apply to should take notice. And hopefully we can start building these in our own country here. That'd be pretty great. So
yeah, that sounds really cool. It's like, even if you end up hitting an animal, like that's bad for the animal because it dies because like 2-ton monsters hit it. And it's bad for you because you just abruptly stopped because you hit something. Like, I have been in a car where we hit the deer, and like we would try to make sure we were all good because like it wasn't anything serious, right? But I was like feeling a little bit pain in my neck. I'm like, that's probably not good. But it was all good. But like it totaled our car, so we had to get a brand new car, which means we had to pay more money for a new car. And so it would have saved all that hassle if there was a way for the animal to get across without going in the road. Because then the animal would live, and we wouldn't have to pay a bunch of money to go to the ER and to get a new car.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it just, like I said, it's overall just like really, it's just saving for all parties involved, both the animals and the humans behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes. So with that being said, we can move on into our Creator Showcase / email. So I'm going to have an email for next time. For John's last episode. That'll be the last email of, maybe not. No, because we're probably not going to have a Creator Showcase or headlines in the season finale. So the next one will probably be the last email of season 2. Which will be pretty great. So you'll have that stowed honor of being the last one. But for today, I do have a Creator Showcase. That's because I found this the other day, and I could not stop laughing. I'm like, I need to promote this person on the podcast because it's hilarious. So it's basically a TikTok clip channel, which you might be like, oh my god, there's so many of those. Like, well, why would I care about this person? And because they show like really amazing clips. Like for example, the one that I'm showing now, and I don't know if you guys have seen this video before. It's like this very cropped video of this guy wearing glasses, and he's like he's talking about how it's like Star Wars Day or something, and it's like I guess his girlfriend's sitting kind of right next to him. They're very close to each other, and she kind of like I don't know whatever happened with this, but like she does kind of look like she's being held hostage, and so of course people on the internet of course took that into their own hands and be like, oh, we can make a video out of this. So they made it so a bunch of people joined in. So the first person that joined in was this person that added himself on the right side, showing like a gun being pointed at her because obviously she's being held hostage. And then more people joined in, like where like there's a lady that had her that showed the bottom of the video, so that showed the arms of the lady that's being like tied up. And then eventually it escalates into like the FBI, like right outside the door, like demanding to come out, and then like police people on the outside with a megaphone. That was the one thing that like one guy added. And then eventually like this guy plays like a news guy. He's talking about it as if it's on the news. And then, of course, it escalates to like a sniper, like a sniper's trained on his position. And then there's this one like voice actor guy that joined in too. He's pretty popular. He has a very deep voice, but he has he was playing the like helicopter people, like Eye in the Sky type of guys. He was playing them, and then of course it escalated till I think the president, like this guy playing the president, got in on it. These are all being cropped in the same thing, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. And it's really funny that I think even after the president, I think it escalates to, what does it escalate to? I think it escalates to, oh yeah, like bystanders talking about it. And then of course, then like it shows like fake protests after, like, to free the lady. And then eventually it goes into, this is my favorite part. Eventually it goes into this dude dressed as Spider-Man, like ready to jump out the window. And then in the background, if you watched Avengers Endgame, one of Cap's lines is, when he's talking about Thanos in the beginning, he's like, "Let's go get this son of a bitch." That's what he says as he's jumping out of the window as Spider-Man. It's basically just amazing. It's comedy gold. And it's hilarious. So yeah, if you haven't seen this amazing video, definitely go see it. So the creator that posted it, or it might be a reposting, I'm sure, but it's Clips_Cara, and Cara spelled Cara. So Cara, I guess, might be the more accurate pronunciation there. But yeah, there's all sorts of these like hilarious content from like TikTok and all that. They're like I said, they're really funny. I mean, they're not all from TikTok. They could also be from YouTube Shorts as well. But very funny, very good. And guess what? There's no AI content. Isn't that great? So
indeed, it is.
It's all handmade human stuff.
I think I have seen, or at least some variation of that meme, though. Because at first I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? There's like, guys, this person hostage? But then as you explained it, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very funny. Like I said, like, obviously it's funny just by itself with like the few people that added on first. But then everyone kept adding onto it. And then, like I said, it eventually just escalated to the president, then to like the Avengers trying to come in and stop this guy. Oh, it's just comedy gold. So yeah, go check out that channel if you want some funny content that does not have to do with AI. Because, you know, when you're in a swath of TikToks or whatever you're watching and you get a bunch of AI crap, you can go over here and not get any of that. So there you go.
Yes.
But with that being said, John, I think we can move on into my final topic of season 2 here. And do you know what time it is, John?
1:26.
That is correct. Good answer. So it is 1:26. How does that matter? Absolutely not. No, it doesn't matter at all. Not even a little bit. So the topic, you've already read it. John hasn't read it because he doesn't have a time machine, at least that we know of. So you already know what the topic is, but John, it's time to do Mystery Topic Wheel 3. The last variant of the Mystery Topic Wheel. The reason I'm doing it as my last topic of season 2, not season 3, is because the first ever Mystery Topic Wheel was done as the very last episode before the end of the season 1 finale. So we're kind of trying to carry the trend a little bit here. So I'm the host this time. I think Noah was the host for both of the last 2 previous ones. I always had the wheel, but he was the host. So this time I'm the host and I have the wheel. So I forgot. So what we're going to be doing, if you didn't listen to the other 2 Mystery Topic Wheels. So Mystery Topic Wheel 1, we had like a couple, I think like 7 different topics, maybe 10 different topics. That were on the wheel, and every 10 minutes we would spin the wheel, swap to a completely different topic that has nothing to do with probably the other topic that we were just talking about. And then in Mystery Topic Wheel 2, we made it even more chaotic, which is we went to every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes we spun the wheel, and boom, we were now talking about a new topic. You had to immediately switch. Even if you're mid-conversation, doesn't matter. We're switching over to something else. So it's just this really fun, chaotic, completely mundane, completely doesn't matter whatsoever kind of topic. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now we're keeping the 5 minutes, because I don't think anything shorter than that, I think we wouldn't really get anywhere with any of the conversation we're talking about. So we're keeping the 5 minutes, but I've amped up the topics on the wheel to 20. So we have 20 possible topics on here that I'm hoping, there's a couple that I really hope we get, there's a couple that I hope we don't get, but regardless, that's what's on here. So with that being said, John, I think we're ready to spin the wheel. What about you?
I'm never ready for anything.
Alright, sounds like you're ready, so let's do it. Spinning the wheel! Now, the first 2 times, the first time we got John being bald as the first topic. The second one we got John being stabbed by his brother in his dream. So let's see what we get this time. No. I refuse to accept this reality because no one's gonna believe me. It's like the whole statement of no one will ever believe you type of garbage. Like you're playing Among Us and that's what they say to you before they murder you, someone right in front of you. But like, I can't. Okay. All right. So the topic I wish I was rigging this for you. But the first topic we're talking about is This Is Bullshit, the movie. So, time to start now.
No, the meme, yes. Well, the similar to like the me getting stabbed in my dream for This Is Bullshit, the movie. I was like, this isn't gonna be like a huge thing. This is just like some like one liner I had because I was pissed off. I didn't really think much of it. You know, I probably thought of it popped in my head and I'm like, that's funny, and then I said it, right. And so I didn't really think much. But if you had told me like right after this, like, yeah, you're gonna be referencing that like all the time, I'm like, I can't. That's such a dumb line to be always referencing, but it's funny. So.
Yeah, that's if you're wondering when that episode came, or that meme first was born, it was born in the Detective Cinema game show where Noah was here at the time, and where Noah and John I gave them the first line of the movie, and they had to guess what the movie was based off that first line. And what had happened was there was a quote. I forgot what the quote was, or sorry, not the quote. The first line. I forgot what the first line was, but whatever it was, it made John think that it was Megamind. And so I guess Megamind, and he was wrong, because that wasn't what it was. I think it was actually Tangled or something, because like the Flynn Rider guy says, this is the story of how I died, or whatever, and that made John think it was Megamind. And so obviously he was wrong. Then the very next round, which John didn't know this until obviously the quote came out, is that it was the next one. The very next one was Megamind. And so I'm not gonna remember everything, but it's like lost the girl of my dreams. Oh yeah, I'm falling to my death. Like blah blah blah, right? And the way the game show worked is you had to say popcorn to buzz in. And what had happened was John buzzed in too early before I finished saying the quote. Therefore, when Noah buzzed in correctly at the end of the quote there, I let him go first. And then he said Megamind. And John was like, and I was like, oh, John, you want to go with Megamind 2? Because apparently there is one. And he said, that's when he said it. He said, this is bullshit, the movie. And then we lost our shits, basically.
Indeed, yes. Because I feel like it was like, I was a little annoyed because it was like, if I had waited like maybe like a second or two, you would have been done talking. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I know this one. And I got too excited. And then I lost to Noah. And I was like, dang.
Right. I forgot what game show it was. It wasn't in. I don't think it was in Detective Cinema game show. It was a game show where something similar happened, and you had a different answer. You said something else than Noah did. And Noah was actually correct, and the first thing you spewed out was, I hate it when Noah's correct. So, yeah, that was another funny one as well. But obviously that wasn't as meme necessary, I guess is the word I'll use there for that one. But This Is Bullshit, the movie was, of course, a pretty good meme to add to the roster of memes here. And yeah, I mean, it's when you know it's truly a meme when it kind of spews out beyond the podcast. Same thing with like the bald head, John getting stabbed in his dream, and then now this one, because there's so many times where we're playing games with John or something, and he'll like run, the monster will be chasing us, he'll run past, he'll like kick me, and so I fall to the ground. And John, I'm like, this is bullshit, the movie. So something along the lines of that. So yeah, it's kind of spewed beyond the podcast, so that's how you know it's a truly, truly good meme.
Right. I would think it would be insane if I would just like chill one day, I'm scrolling Reddit or something, and I see like a reference to us, like, whoa, what? That's crazy. So far it's not happened, but one of these days, I mean, I'm sure it'll happen eventually. I'm like, I made that meme. I came up with that.
I came up with it, right? Yeah, this is so basically what John's saying is that is your permission to make as many memes as physically possible. To see, you know, to show the universe, you know, what's going on here. But yeah, so it's just all around one of the obviously funnier memes we have on the podcast. Like obviously nothing's gonna beat John getting utterly betrayed and stabbed by his brother in his dream, of course. But it's still pretty up there in the term of like some really good memes.
Yeah.
And I think that Detective Cinema game show would have been season 2, right? Or no, wait.
I think so.
Wait, am I an idiot?
It might be. That might be related though.
I can't remember.
I think it was. If it was like early on in season 2.
Yeah. Also, well, I guess I won't get to know because it's time to switch topics. So here we go. Next topic, please, is. Never get that one. That's gonna be so funny. Okay, worst gaming moments. So, like moments in your gaming life where it's like, this sucks. Your machine actually just sucked ass, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely times where I've been like playing a game, and I've been playing for like a long time, and this before autosaves existed, and then either the game crashes or the power goes out, or the power goes out, and like, I didn't save. I'm like, dang it, I've lost all that progress. It's truly devastating whenever that would happen. But now autosaves exist, and that happens much less.
Yeah. One of the moments that I can recall for sure is I was playing. There's a game called Destiny. I used to play it religiously back in the day. I don't really play it now. But I used to play it religiously. And when it first came out, Destiny 1 I played, and then when Destiny 2 first came out, I think I got it on release day or something. And there's this big long campaign mission when you first boot up the game, and so I was going through it, and I think I got to like the final boss fight, which I think you lose the boss fight. I don't think you can win it. It's like one of those boss fights that they make you play, but you have no shot. And I was like watching the cutscene of him like throwing me into the universe, basically. And my game just froze, and I'm like, okay. Let me just give it a second. And it completely like just shut down my entire Xbox. And so I booted up my Xbox again, and I saw that the game said I hadn't played it before, because the Xbox would tell you if you've opened the game before. I'm like, excuse me, I've opened this game before. It opened it 10 minutes ago. Or not even 20 minutes ago. Mind you, this was like an hour and a half of a campaign mission, basically. And I boot up the game, and it made me start from the very beginning, and in the very beginning cutscene. A cutscene I couldn't skip because the game didn't recognize that I'd played it before. So basically, my system had completely erased the last hour and a half of progress. So much so that I couldn't even skip any of the cutscenes during this campaign mission. Because like I said, the game's like, oh, you've never played this before. You can't skip the cutscenes yet. So I was so livid, because I was like, and it was an hour and a half, and I'm pretty sure it was a school night, and I'm pretty sure I was kind of already over my scheduled like bedtime, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is not cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, the things like that always suck. I know when I was a kid playing Kingdom Hearts for the first time, back on the PS2 days, you couldn't skip cutscenes like at all, and if you died to a boss, you would have to like watch the cutscene like before the boss over again, and some of those cutscenes got pretty lengthy. And there's like this boss towards the end of the game where like anyone who played the game on the PS2 quotes it so often, because it's like one of the more harder fights, especially if you're a kid.
Right.
And it's just like watching that cutscene over and over. It's like, shut up! I just want to beat this damn boss. And then I go back to it as an adult, having played the game for 20 years almost. And just like beat him first time. Like, man, that was not that hard.
So basically, it was just like a get good kind of situation.
Yeah, it was definitely a get good situation. It's probably easier now on the newer versions of the game, because you can skip cutscenes, which is amazing. And there's more like bug fixes and things tweaked here and there to make it more playable. So it's not as bad, but I still think it was definitely a get good moment when I was 4 years old playing the game for the first time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, another one for me that's that's I'd almost say is worse than the first one I gave. So there was this time, I don't even remember what game it was. It was a game that I played as a kid, and I had I'm pretty sure I had 10 plus hours in the game, right? And I'm pretty sure I accidentally hit the delete save data button, and then poof, all the stuff went away. And normally, a good game, because I don't recall what game it was, but normally a good game, if you accidentally click, there's ways they get around it, because usually there's a pop-up that says, you're about to delete all your data. Are you sure you want to do that? That way, if you accidentally click it, your whole PC doesn't explode, or whatever I was playing on didn't explode. But this game didn't have that. If you accidentally click the button, bye-bye your 10 hours, or bye-bye your 50 hours, however long you had in the game, it's gone now, and there's no way to get it back. So I remember, I'm pretty sure I not only screamed into several pillows, but I'm also pretty sure I tried to punch the wall. So. Yeah,
no, I've been. I've definitely been there as well, where there's, in Kingdom Hearts 2, I swear I almost sorted it up to the Kingdom Hearts, but these two do. In Kingdom Hearts 2, I once had a save file that had 300 hours on it. I'd basically done everything. And I don't even know why I was trying to switch that file. I must have been trying to check something. But I was on a different file, and I was in the save menu, and I had just had a brain fart, thought I was on the load menu, and I saved over the 300 hour save file, getting rid of all of it. And I'm like, man, that sucks. it wasn't so bad because like I had played the game a lot. By this point, I was a bit older now, so I had like it wasn't the only file that I had done everything on. That was like my first file on that console, and so I was like, damn, that's all that like just to have the 300-hour save file is insane. So I was like really disappointed, but I got over it because it's not the end of the world.
But what if we deleted the humanity save file? Then we all just die, right? That'd be good.
There might be a podcast episode about that.
Which one?
Well, I was thinking the Vanish Button, but also the third one also.
The Override Button was just like NPC related one. That was more like you were in a simulation. I was thinking either you were talking about the Toasted End of the World one or the Vanish Button. But doesn't matter what we were talking about because it's gone now because it's time to spin the wheel again. All right, let's see what we get. Okay. So your worst last meal. So tell us, John, what would be like if you were requesting a last meal and you're like, oh, I want all this, I want this, and they bring you something that you just want to be executed right there on the spot. Like that's how bad the last meal they gave you was, right? Like they didn't listen to any of your suggestions, none of it. They gave you like your worst foods all together. So what would that look like for you?
Well, I imagine like for starters, they bring out just a pile of dirt. It's like here's your appetizer.
It has to be food related. It can't be like dirt.
Well, I mean, it'd be pretty bad.
It has to be edible.
Okay, for food, say, I'd be like, here's your entree. You're skipping the dirt appetizer because that's not actually food, apparently. Here's your entree of just like not super expired, but it's not edible, but just slightly expired meatloaf. I don't like meatloaf, but I imagine it doesn't taste much better. It's a little expired. Like, here's expired meatloaf. To drink, you get milk to go with your meatloaf.
Is the milk also spoiled?
It might be, it might not be. I'm lactose intolerant, so it's not going to be great either way. Okay. And then they're like, you know what? To top it all off, here is a fruit cake for dessert. Because everyone loves fruit cake.
Okay. Very interesting answers. So, my worst last meal. So for my appetizer, they'd bring me they'd bring me like it's not like the worst thing though. Is the thing I'm trying to think of like what do I absolutely hate with a firing burning? Oh, you know what? They'd bring me like ratatouille or something. Because ratatouille, it's a mixture of all my things that I hate, which is like tomatoes, zucchini, whatever else is on there. So tomatoes. So it's like all the things I kind of don't like. So they'd bring that up for the appetizer. For the main course, they'd probably bring me like the driest pork chops the world's ever seen. It's drier than the desert that I'm locked in solitary confinement in. So yeah, like that, and like there's no sauce to drown it out, nothing. It's just like a dry, overcooked pork chop. I don't really even like pork chops as it is, but even like a dry one, forget it. That's not gonna happen. And then for a drink, I would just say tomato juice or something that I would never willingly drink. And you know what? Not only is tomato juice, it's room temperature tomato juice too.
Ugh. Gross.
So yeah, that'd be the worst possible thing there. And then for dessert, I can't really go wrong with a lot of desserts. I'm not really big of a sweet tooth person, but if they gave me something, I'd be like, oh, sure, why not? It's sweet, so. But I'll say the worst possible thing. Oh, you know what? The worst possible thing is probably pecan pie. I hate pecans with a fire burner passion, and putting it in a pie doesn't make it better. So, pecan pie is like they gave me a whole pie too. It's not just a slice; they gave me a whole pie. It's like I'm not even.
Then you have to eat it.
Like no, I'd rather you strap me to the electric chair right now and just end me because I'm not touching that. So yeah, that would probably be my absolutely worst possible last meal there. I guess sometimes let's include some snacks too, since we still have some time here. Because sometimes for your last meal you can really request anything. But let's say we requested like Cheeto. Well, you don't like Cheetos. Let's say you requested some snacks.
I don't like Cheetos.
I thought in the Pipo snacks tier list you didn't like them.
I don't love the spicy ones. I just think they're a little bland, in my opinion.
You just got a better taste buds, man. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, let's say that you asked for snacks. They brought you snacks, but they were the worst possible version of it. They were the worst possible snacks they could have brought you. So what's like your bottom of the barrel? You'd rather eat your own vomit than eat the snacks that they brought you.
Ew. I don't think there's anything that I would rather eat vomit over.
Well, you gotta think of something, John.
Oh man, you know what? It's just like those assorted jelly beans. I don't know what they're called, but there's a bunch of different flavors. But the worst one by far is the popcorn flavored one. For some reason, it just doesn't taste like popcorn at all, and it gets in your nose or something. Like I hate it. Every aspect of eating a popcorn flavored jelly beans is nightmarish. So they give me just a bowl full of just the popcorn flavored
just
ones.
the popcorn ones.
And they're like, here you go, there's your jelly beans. I'm like, that's just not what I asked for.
Interesting. Yeah, as for me, if they brought me, I was gonna say like a mixture of, I like white cheddar smart food popcorn. I absolutely hate that crap. So it's a mixture of that, and then like, it's a mixture of that and Cool Ranch Doritos. I would like,
that's right, yeah.
Just kill me right there. Just, call the executioner, bring him in, because I'm not dealing with this garbage. So yeah, but we gotta switch topics. So it's time to spin the wheel again. But yeah, while it's spinning, if you like Cool Ranch Doritos, you need to reevaluate your life choices. There's like everything else.
It's definitely the worst one.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting a lot of like bad stuff, which is bad in terms of this. We've got least favorite movies in the next topic.
It's an interesting one. I mean, there's definitely movies that I'm like, I wouldn't like that, and I'm not gonna watch it because, like Twilight, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that. It probably sucks. From what I've seen online, I know enough.
It's up more than
from what I have seen, yes. What I have seen is the freaking Megamind 2. We teased it earlier, but that one, I watched it, and I was like, this fucking sucks. It's not good. I get the animation not looking the same. It's a different studio, and maybe same studio, but different, like, people working on it and all that. And it definitely was a cash grab. But the story isn't very good. None of the characters act like they do in the first one. Like completely different. Like, if you told me that they were just like scrolls from Marvel, they just look like them. They're shapeshifters. They're just completely different people. I would believe you because they don't act at all like they do in the first movie.
Interesting.
So it's just all around, and then also it's just like not really funny. It's not an interesting story. Like every aspect of it sucks. And I watched it being like, maybe this isn't as bad as people are saying. Because sometimes people exaggerate online when they talk about bad sequels. They're like, this was terrible. And then I watched them like, it's just all right. But no, it was terrible. It was so just like whoever was creating it must have hated Megamind because they made Megamind just like an absolute idiot. Like he's not stupid in the first one. He's a little like socially unaware.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand how to use a toaster. It's like,
doesn't he build inventions like Doofenshmirtz? How did he not know?
He does. He doesn't. Like you would think he would be able to work a toaster because he's like an inventor, but no. They just like, what? Let's make this guy an idiot and just incapable of anything.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't personally seen it, nor based on the description would I want to. But yeah, Megamind was one of those things I feel like, I guess they could have done a sequel, but it was one of those things you didn't need to. It could have kind of left it alone. But yeah, the cash grab would make sense if they're like, oh, well, the first one was so good, guys, we gotta make another one to get more money. Because, money's everything, apparently. Speaking about money being everything, so one of my most hated movies is the Emoji Movie, and because, just like kind of what John just said about story, it sucked ass. More than John's Machine, which is pretty impressive because he made the duck. So like what are you doing there? It was so bad. It was so cringe, as PewDiePie would say. And it's just horrendous in almost every aspect outside of the animation. The animation style was okay, right? Because they'll give you that. You did a good job. But everything else sucked a bunch of booty cheeks. Like the story, the music they chose for the different scenes. I'm like, this does not fit the scene at all. The characters sucked. There was no like emotion tied to really any of the characters. Wasn't there like a somewhat like they were trying to make it sentimental and it wasn't, just because either A, the music sucked, or B, I didn't give two craps about the characters? I couldn't tell you, because I've tried to remove the Emoji Movie from my mind, and it's mostly worked. I only recall it here and there, for how bad I want to tell people about it. So
yeah, that's definitely fair, because I mean, I haven't seen it, so like I guess I can't judge it. But like everything I've seen online, like I was saying, it's like Twilight. It's like everything I've seen, I'm like, this is just who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah.
Why would you want an Emoji Movie? Like, sure, like there's been movies that I'm like in concept, I'm like, that's a little weird. I don't know why anyone's asking for that. But then I go see it and it's like a masterpiece. I'm like, I get it now. They had a vision and they executed that vision perfectly. The Emoji Movie, they didn't have anything. I don't think. I think they had money in mind, and and they're like, people like emojis, right?
Right. They're trying to be hip with the kid, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
If I recall, like the story, like I feel like one of the story plot points of the story was that kids are just idiots. I'm like, that is probably not the best message for you to be talking about.
Especially since your target demographic is kids. Like, if I was a child and I'm watching a movie and then there's like, by the way, kids are stupid. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not watching this.
I'm turning the shit off. Yeah, it's just horrendous. It's just like John said. I don't think they had anything. I don't think they had any vision. Or if they did, it's like their version sucked. And so it's terrible. So yeah, I refute it in the name of everything.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of refuting, we're going to spin the wheel once again. We're going crazy. All right, what do we got? What do we got this time? Yes, this is one of the ones I wanted. Yes, Out of Spite 2. So, John, do you remember the Out of Spite episode?
Of course I do, but just for the people at home, why don't you explain it to them?
Yeah, the way you said that makes it sound like you don't know at all what it was, but it's fine. So Out of Spite was a episode all the way back in season 1. I'm talking season 1, episode like 30 or something, maybe even less than that. And it was an episode we talked about where we proved. We talked about a situation where we got to prove someone wrong in the most glorious way possible, because we did it out of spite type of thing. Like, we didn't need to prove them wrong, but we did it because we felt like it, type of thing.
Right.
So we're doing a mini Out of Spite 2 here, so let's go.
Yeah, well, I mean, first thing that comes to mind is there was a professor I had that was just so stupid. Like, this was like last semester, the semester before, or something like that. And he was like really wanting us to use AI for some reason. I'm like, bro, you're an English teacher. I'm like, yeah, why do you want us to use AI? You're an English teacher.
Why?
But I guess he was like, I don't know, because he was like, oh, if you use it right, you can use it. You just gotta like cite it as a source. I'm like, yeah, but like it doesn't cite its sources.
Oh,
so like that doesn't even work.
John, you just fulfilled the prophecy. Hang on, you just fulfilled the prophecy. You said he was an English major.
Yeah, well, he's a teacher, professor.
English professor. Hang on, an English professor is telling you to cite ChatGPT as a source, ladies and gentlemen. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Anyway. He's an old guy, and like I guess his reasoning was like, oh well, back in my day it was computers. They were against computers. They didn't want us using it, and now we use computers for everything. I'm like, yeah, but like computers aren't harmful, and this is so like it sucks. It's not even like good. So like I don't even know what you want from me. You want me to use something bad that's also harmful? There's no reason to use it. But basically, we had a paper that was like discuss like the pros and cons of AI, and like for all of it, I was like, AI sucks for this reason, and this reason, and this reason, and there's no redeeming qualities. And I did decent on the paper. A lot of people in that class were like, don't disagree with him. Even if you do, you just you pander to him when you write your papers. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit.
That's not, yeah.
I'm gonna call him out.
No, that's honestly good for you, because like you should not. That's not what a classroom is about. Classroom is about learning, and that includes the teacher. The teachers can also learn things too. They're not geniuses that know everything. And I've stood by that since day one of being in the classroom. Back in my day when I was a yee little boy. Because it's like I would have done the exact same thing. I don't think I would have written a single pro about the AI. I would have been like, all right, just to spite you, I'm gonna write everything that sucks about AI, everything that's like statistically bad about AI, right? So that is a great story. I'm trying to think. The reason we haven't done an official Out of Spite 2 is because I haven't really had too many moments where I've done something, because I'm usually not a very spiteful person. But so one thing I can recall, this was a while ago though, where I was in a I guess it was like a shopping mall. It's a very small mall, if you want to call it that. And we went to one of the restaurants in the mall, and it's one of those restaurants that's not like an Auntie Anne's or something where you just go up and get it. It is a sit down place, and the waiter the front of house person was directing us to our table. We got to the table, and the person that was like, I guess, supposed to be waiting on us comes over and says, "Why are you guys sitting here?" And I'm like, do you normally ask people that? Like, we're here to eat. We're not here to throw a bachelorette party. Like, what do you mean? What are we doing here? And so we, of course, asked, we were seated here. And then, they say, "No, you weren't." And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm in a fever dream. This is all a lie. I'm in a simulation. This is proving it, really, basically. And, this person doesn't actually exist. Little did I know, they actually existed. And we're like, yeah, we were. We never got the hostess' name, so we're just like, oh yeah, they sat us down over here. And they said, no, they didn't, because the section's been closed for a couple days now. And I'm like, okay, yeah, so I work here now. And so I knew actually that the spot was closed for a while. Therefore, we just decided to sit here anyway. Like, does this make any logical sense to you? Like, we walked into this random restaurant. We sat ourselves down in a place we knew was closed. And then we decided to sit here and wait for food. Like, like, in your small mind, does this make any sort of sense? Obviously, I didn't say any of that. But in my head, that's what I was thinking. And we're like, I forgot what I finally said, but I finally said something. I'm like, while we're sitting here, we'd like to get some service, please. Something like that. And then they said, well, I'm not going to serve you if you're over here. And I'm like, well, we were sat here, so we're not going to just get up and move. In fact, it was one of those places that was pretty busy, so we wouldn't really have been able to move anywhere. And I think they even tried to make us move to the bar. And I'm like, we're not moving to the bar. We want to sit here. Someone wouldn't have sat us here if we couldn't be sat here. And so they kept trying to make us move, but we sat there just straight out of spite. We're like, we're not moving now. We're not moving now. So yeah, and then we eventually, I think, just asked for a different waiter, because we're like, we talked with like the restaurant manager. We're like, we don't want to deal with that person anymore. We want to talk to someone else. So we did. And if I recall, the manager confirmed that they said, no, the spot hasn't been closed. You're able to be sat here. I'm like, okay, I figured that already, but I just wanted confirmation that the person that was talking to us previously was an idiot. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I there are times I'm like, I don't want to be like that guy. I don't want to be like Karen right now, but you are being really awful at your job. So maybe I should speak to someone about this.
Right, yeah. Speaking about something, it's time to spin the wheel again. Let's see what we get. Let's show me what you got. Yes. Life in prison, John. Well, how's it treating you over there? You're dropping the soap.
No, I'm not doing that. My crimes of burning down orphanages and space shuttles have finally caught up to me. And I imagine, like, it would probably suck, especially if it's American prison. I don't know, like, what that's like. I know a lot of people who are in prison and they get out and they don't know how to like go back to normal life.
I thought you were gonna stop there and be like, I know a lot of people that are in prison. I'm like, okay,
because of Jimmy, Billy Bob over there, Big Mike. I know all these guys.
Big Mike.
We go way back. So like, it's fine for me. I got a gang there already.
Oh my god, Big Mike.
Yeah, Big Mike. You don't know Big Mike?
Well, as opposed to Small Willie?
Yeah, no, Small Willie. We're not cool like that.
Oh, okay. You're not tight.
Yeah, no, I don't really like Small Willie that much.
So basically, if there's like a prison yard fight, like you'd be against Small Willie, basically what you're saying.
Yeah, Small Willie would be like, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm like, well, I got Big Mike on my side, so what do you got, Small Willie?
Right.
So yeah, this is how it's gonna go. Like, I don't know how else to put it, really.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, building off of Big Mike here. Then basically, I mean, yeah, it would absolutely suck. I mean, like you're stuck there forever now. Now, obviously, there's a situation where I guess they move you to certain different prisons. I mean, I don't know. I think you have to be bad for that to happen. Like you're starting riots or something to get you in trouble. But yeah, if they just like if a cop just walks up to John and be like, "You didn't lose the game, you lost your life," stabs him, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're arrested." This is like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so it would like we talked about like the worst meals before, right? So like the meal is not your worst meal, or sorry, your last meal is what I was trying to say. Your last meal, is probably pretty good because especially if you can pick it. Obviously, it's your last meal though, so you know you're dying. So I guess that's not good. But what I'm getting at is the prison food is always never good, especially in America. I mean, John Burke kind of referenced that before. Because in like American prisons are obviously not good whatsoever. Because you look at all these prisons from I don't know, Russia or, well, not Russia, maybe that's not a good example. Germany, like the Netherlands, they literally give you like a 5-star suite in prison. Like, they try to make it so that you don't feel like committing more murders, and so that they can rehabilitate you back into society. That's kind of the whole point of what they do over there. I think Finland, I think, is another one that does that as well. So yeah, basically, there's a couple of countries like America where they also do it like what we do, which is like doesn't obviously help very much. I mean, you committed a crime, so you should be somewhere, but I still don't really fully. I think the way that the Netherlands and Finland and all those guys that do it similar to them, I think they're doing it right because they are showing statistically that it's the better move. Is to you don't have to treat them like kings and queens, obviously, because they're not, but you shouldn't make them like put them in a padded cell with like no food or water for like days on end. Like it's not very human.
That's what I was getting at. When I said like a lot of people when they get out of prison, they can't like adjust to normal life, and a lot of times they'll just end up back in prison. And so clearly it's not working, because if it was working, they wouldn't end up back in prison.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So,
but yeah, and then the food in Netherlands and Finland prisons are like pretty good. Like they're getting like, I mean, John hates it, but they get like homemade meatloaf. They get fettuccine. They're like literally. I saw a video where I forgot what prison it was. It was one of the ones that does this, where they were served literally like a homemade, authentic Italian. I think they call it something different though. It's pasta di Parmesan or something. It's not called fettuccine Alfredo. But they made it, and they called it an actual Italian to make it. Because the prison chef wasn't Italian. He was whatever he was. I think he was just native. But they called it an actual Italian for that special meal. Like, they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do that at all. They could have just told the native chef, like, hey, so this is the recipe. Here you go. Because that's what, as chefs, that's how you do that. You should be able to know how to follow a recipe, right? But they didn't need to do that. And I was still like, oh, man. Well, I don't want to go there because it's prison. But it looks like they're having a decent time. So,
but if I had to go to prison, it's not so bad.
Not so bad. All right. Well, time to move the wheel again. Man, these 5 minutes are not feeling like 5 minutes, but
it's
because we're too gaming. You can't do life in prison twice. I know we're still in prison, but come on. Ooh, okay. So I mean, this is gonna need some explaining. So it's U.S. Civil War is what's on here. But what that means, is if the U.S. were to have a civil war based on the region, so Eastern United States, Western United States, Southern United States, North, I guess. Who do we think would like win in that battle? That's kind of like what we're talking about here. We're not talking about like an actual serious civil war breaks out. This is like more of a goofy one.
I mean, you gotta think like the East Coast. So you got Florida men, and they're like insane. So like, just send the Florida troops after them. Like, oh yeah, you just sit back and watch them do their thing.
The reason I wrote this down is because I passed a picture of like where they outline the different states. So East Coast not only has Florida because they're still on the east, because they're technically south, but the south actually stopped right before Florida. So we got Florida, we got New York City, which is full of definitely a lot of people and crazy people too. So definitely got that. We also have like all the states. All the states beyond New York, it's like Maine, Delaware, right? New Hampshire, those ones. We also have the Carolinas, which the Carolinas are pretty big. We also get Pennsylvania, both Virginias, and I think Tennessee was actually technically southern, even though it's kind of clipping into our thing there. Either way, I'm trying to find the exact image, but I can't find it again. But either way, I've always said that the East Coast is stacked. We can't lose. Like, the West Coast, so the first person I think dying is northern United States. I'm sorry, you guys are gone. Who even lives in North Dakota? Okay, you're gone. All
the North Dakota viewers are like, "Hey man, what the hell?
What the hell, man?" Yeah, you guys gone completely. Right? As much as I love Montana, you're just it's being set ablaze. All right. The next I think to go would actually be the West Coast, because when you think of the southern United States, you got Texas in there. Texas is big.
Texans are surviving for pretty long, I'd say.
Exactly, that too. And there's a lot of hunting in Texas. And so anyone in Texas is like, they're pretty good. They know what the hell they're doing and they know how to survive. And so like that, just based on just Texas alone, I think Texas is kind of carrying the southern part of it. But with that being said, they still have like the reinforcements of New Mexico. They got also, Georgia, like that kind of stuff. And Southerners also know how to throw down too. I've been down there. They know how to throw downtown, all right? So I think the first to go is north. The next to go is west. And then at that point, it's just a battle between north and south. And I don't know who would win. I think that's a pretty fair fight at that point. I'd like to bank on north just because I think we're still pretty stacked. But, to each their own.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a fair breakdown for sure. Because, you gotta think like longevity too, because this is like a long-lasting war. You got the winter troops, and then you got the summer troops, right? Mm-hmm. So we got the winter troops all from like the northeast, and then like once it's getting hotter, they like lose their steam. We can send in the Florida men.
You can send in the Florida men. Yeah,
and that's the way to go for sure.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, it all depends on obviously what type of war, like civil war it is. Like, are we fighting? Are we going on their turf? Or are they coming on our turf? Because if they're coming on our turf, they're doomed. But yeah, if we're going on their turf, it might be a little shaky. So yeah, it all depends on like those factors. But just in terms of absolute numbers and based on the people in those areas, I think sorry, north the United States, I think you guys are doomed. Because even if it's not just one section of the U.S. going after them, if even two go after, it's done. It's done in rings at that point. It's gone. It's done. And then I think West would be the next target. Get rid of them. They're all gone. California. What else is over there? California, Oregon, Washington, they're all gone. And then, like I said, then it's just a battle between South and East at that point.
Dude.
Alright, time for one final spin. What shall we get? I think there's one more that we still haven't got that I really wanted. Is it gonna happen, though? Yes, please. Please do it. Please do it. Yes. Alright, so the topic I wrote down is, what would you do if you became the Joker for a day?
Well, probably a lot of murder.
So this is obviously a reference to what I constantly say. I'm going to become the Joker. So what would actually happen if you actually became the Joker, John? But only for a day.
Well, I'd probably get I'd be like, all right, I'm the Joker. I got a criminal gang here. Got to send them out to rob a bank and get them all like beat up by Batman. But like, I don't go into rob the bank because I don't want to get beat up by Batman. Send everyone else to do things. And that's the way to go.
That's it? That's all you're doing?
Yeah, that's it. Just robbing banks, and of course, you gotta take care of the orphanage. You gotta get rid of the Robin population. Right. Can't have any new recruits because we already Joker already got rid of one of the Robins. You can't have more of them come up. So
right. Yeah, I mean, going back to the AI intricate ones, I'd basically one of the AI things that it said was that Batman ran over Robin in his Batmobile just because he hated his face or whatever. I think I'd do something similar, like you send the goons out to rob a bank, like John said, so that Batman goes that way. But then I go after Robin and I run him over. I'm just like, I hate you. I hate your face, right? And then
Right.
I'm surprised John didn't mention, but you got to find Harley Quinn. She's out there somewhere, specifically the Margot Robbie version. And then you just have a good time with her. And then you blow up a couple places, just like make Batman come after you. And then as the final hours of me being the Joker, I just have a 1v1 with Batman,
Right. Because, I imagine you gotta pick up all of his skills too. And the Joker, for like just being some like weird clown guy, is like really busted to be able to like do all the things he's doing. Because I think there's like a line somewhere where it's like referring to Batman and the Joker is like the only reason everybody on the planet isn't dead is because these two haven't killed them. It's like, that's crazy. Like, he's just a clown, man.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I forgot what game it was. I think it was the Telltale Batman game where he just straight up blows up a whole city square. It's like he didn't need he's just unhinged. I feel like, that's kind of the point. Like when I say I'm going to become the Joker, it's basically just another way of saying I'm going to go insane. But instead of just saying I'm going to go insane because that's boring, I say I'm going to become the Joker.
Right.
And so yeah, so if I was the Joker for a day, that's probably what I'd do. Just send my goons out somewhere because then I'm not responsible for what they do, and then I run over Robin because I hate that guy, and then just find Harley Quinn, see what she's doing, and then just have a 1v1 with Batman.
But which Robin are you running over?
All
That's the real question.
I go into the multiverse just to run over all of them.
You line them up. You line up all the Robins. All right, like boo, 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 boo.
What I do is I get Scarecrow's gas, whatever it is that makes them hallucinate. I make them think that they're all having a tea party with each other, and then I just run them over. Boom, dead.
Interesting. I feel like that's probably the most effective way of dealing with them. Who needs a crowbar?
And then Loki just comes out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, bro, you're messing with the multiverse." I'm like, "Oh, damn, sorry, bro. That's Batman's fault. Go get him." And then
But this ain't even your comic line, man. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Don't you have a different universe to protect or something? But yeah. So that's all you do for your Joker? Is you just go and you just rob a couple? You just send your goons to rob? Well, I guess here, since you're only doing that, what specific goons are you sending? Because when you think of Joker's team, you got to be specific here.
Well, there's this guy. He's a legend. I think his name is Henry the Henchman. If you've never heard of that guy, he's a legend. He's a Lego henchman. Okay, and he can take on the world. I think I'll have to send him out.
Sounds like a loser.
No, he's a cool one. They're bringing him back for the next Lego Batman game. I'm so excited to be able to play as Henry the Henchman again. You don't even know.
Okay.
For context, there's a YouTuber I watched who just made a full-on documentary style video on just the random Lego goon. He called him Henry the Henchman, and he had this whole tragic life. It was great.
All right then. Well, I'm gonna pretend anything you just said just made sense. And the timer has timed out. They've Alt F4'd, which means it's time to conclude today's episode, and conclude the final episode of the Mystery Topic Wheel. So there you go. Mystery Topic Wheel is always a great time because, you gotta quickly, swap between different topics. Like we talked about, U.S. Civil War. We talked about our least favorite movies. Talked about what our last, our nightmare last meal would be type of thing. We swapped between all these different topics, which really dives into the chaos of the episode. So it's always a good time. So that's gonna do it over here for us. So Big Mike, you have won the episode today. You have you're just so big and enormous that you got 15 points for each time you were big and enormous, and so you racked up a total of 369 points. So good job, Big Mike. You are the winner, and John, you actually lost. Next time you should have maybe, I know you're on the team with Big Mike, but next time you should have just became Big Mike. And you didn't, so it's really just on you.
Point.
Yeah, it's really just on you, so just get better next time. But yeah, with that being said, John will be the official technical last solo host for season 2, because he's hosting episode 99. So only two more Fridays after this, guys, and that's it. Technically one more, because the second one would be the season finale. So yeah, it's crazy that we're even saying that. Season 3 is closer than we think it is. It's absolutely nuts. So thank you guys so much for listening. We hope we provoked the conversation, made you laugh along the way. You can find me over on YouTube at FlabsX Gaming, having a lot of fun stuff over there, doing a lot of playthroughs. I'm actually just playing the Life is Strange Double Exposure game again, so go check that out over there. I got a lot of other cool stuff. I got like 1,800 videos if you don't want to watch anything that's currently going on. And then you can find John in 2 places, at Jeevan Freebins and at Jeevan Freebins VODs over on YouTube. And then if you want to catch anything live, you can catch over on Jeevan Freebins on Twitch. And of course, you can check us out as a team over at Instagram at the Provokers Podcast Official, and over at Twitter /X, whichever you choose to call it, at Provokers Pod. So over there we do like updates on stuff. We will tell you when a new episode's live and all that good stuff. So go check it out and go follow us. It's free. So yeah, go do it. And speaking of cool stuff, you can find our songs as well. So we have Next Up John, Next Up Ethan, and The Provokers the Musical. All of which are pretty much on every streaming platforms. The only ones that are not on YouTube Music are the Next Up John, Next Up Ethan. But the Provokers podcast, or the Provokers the Musical is. So you can feel free to remix it, do whatever you want to it. It's perfectly for you guys to be able to have fun with. So go check it out and go listen to them. They're pretty good. My personal favorite, Next Up John, always a banger. It's actually my ringtone in the morning when I wake up. So just woken up to the blaring music of John. Actually, what's going on? So yeah, go listen to it. And also check out the Patreon that we have. We have of course, there's normal tiers ranging from $1 to $100. Obviously, the more you pay for, the more you get out of it. And if you join depending on the tiers, you get access to our exclusive Discord only, Discord Patreon only exclusive Discord server, whichever the term is. So yeah, they'll be able to hang out with us, chat with us, see what's going on. And on the other side, we have the extended cuts, which are like kind of little 30 to 40 minute episodes, where it's purely the topic. There's nothing else. There's no like winner. There's no host. I mean, their host is there, but they don't really matter. And then so the first 5 are $3, so you can kind of dip your toes in the water, see if you like it or not. If you don't, then oh well, it's $3. And then if you do like it, then the other ones become $5 after that. So go if you want extra content, that's the place to go get it. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.